What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. And whichever platforms you're listening to this on, I want to let you know I really do appreciate it. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being subscribed. And if you are listening to this on YouTube and you are not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and subscribe. And while you're at it, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this conversation. Guys, this story to me, honestly, it was a little funny, but I get it. When people are going through things in their lives, in their own personal lives, it's hard to look around and see that your problems really are not as bad as so many other people's problems are. So you can become so consumed and so self-absorbed where it just really becomes selfish. And I wanted to start with that and premise it with this story is because actor, singer Tyrese, he's been back and forth on social media with so many different personal issues over the past several years where he's just, in my opinion, become a big joke to a lot of people. I'm not going to go into everything because I don't have all of the finite details regarding everything, but there was years ago where that moment went viral of him being on a social media live where he was talking about what he was going through with his at the time child's mother, I guess, slash wife, soon to be ex-wife maybe, and a custody situation and child support with the child. And then he's, crying on social media about his personal situation and talking about how much he's already put out in monetary wise and in money, and just like yelling out, "What more do you want from me?" And it just became a big joke. I know to him, it was like a big deal because he was looking at, I'm spending all of this money and this and that and the other. But people have real life issues that are going on. I could go down a list of just people I know and even myself that are going through like real life turmoils and issues where it's like, dude, your problems really are nothing in comparison. And I'm not saying that to you they're not important, but you really have nothing to complain about at this point in time because, one, you chose to be with those women that you chose to be with, okay? So that's just one situation. Then there was another situation with, I guess it is, I should say, the current girlfriend that he's dating and how they did a live video and they were discussing their relationship and celebrating however long it has been that they've been together. I don't really care. But I saw the story. I didn't talk about it at the time, but the girlfriend, she was just telling people like, well, Tyrese really wasn't her type. She was more into people like Paul Walker, his former co-star who tragically passed away several years ago. And he was just looking there like dumb, and he was just like upset and saying, I don't even want to finish this video right now. That it's another situation. Then he was going back and forth with other stars slash co-workers of the Fast and Furious series regarding how much he's getting paid and recognition and all that other stuff versus The Rock. And it's like, man, you're not The Rock. Honestly, you should just be grateful to be where you are because you have what you have. And there are some people that would literally kill to be where you are, and you're extremely ungrateful. You're being envious, you're being competitive. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. That's just another situation, again, bringing his self-absorbed issues to social media for other people to chime in and rally for him and root for him, when in all honesty, many people don't really care. And I wanted to say all that to get to my point in this conversation that I wanted to talk about. Okay, he's been in court with his ex-wife with regards to alimony, child support, all of that good stuff. Well, this story comes from sandrarose.com, and it says that Tyrese's prayer protest has been shut down by Atlanta PD. Tyrese Gibson's prayer protest outside an Atlanta courthouse on Tuesday was shut down before it could begin. He is, or at the time I should say was, because as I'm recording this, it's Wednesday, final stretch of his bitter divorce from Samantha Lee Gibson, but he claims a racist judge is standing in the way of a fair and equitable outcome. Tyrese invited his fans, other fathers, and the news media to join him at his prayer protest at the courthouse on Tuesday. However, the protest was shut down by Atlanta police because the judge didn't approve of the press and media outlets. And then he wrote, allegedly, only one media outlet was approved, as a question. So he did a 30-minute video that he posted on Instagram, and he complained that Fulton County Superior Court Judge Kevin M. Farmer is racist and unfair to fathers who are going through divorce in Atlanta. Tyrese also accused the judge of calling his ex-wife a bitch in the judge's chambers. He says, "I have never referred to the mother of my child as a bitch." To hear this man, this white man on the bench wearing a black robe, I don't know what wearing a black robe is supposed to mean in regards to what he's saying, but anyway, who was supposed to represent the law, to refer to my ex-wife and the mother of my child as a bitch, why is he still on the stand? And last year, the judge ordered Tyrese to pay Samantha $10,000 a month for their 4-year-old daughter, Soraya. The singer said his request to have the judge removed from his case was rejected. So I don't know why he thought going on social media and calling the judge a racist before the case was wrapped up and finalized was going to help him. Because after that, he was held in contempt, and he has to pay, it's been ordered, $636,000 for child support and the ex's lawyer. So according to TMZ, he was in the Fulton County Court Tuesday to deal with his ongoing child support battle with Samantha Lee Gibson. The main issue being Tyrese refusing to pay the $10,000 a month he was ordered to pay last August because he felt the judge was racist and biased against him. That was foolish, first of all. I don't know who his counsel is, because I can let you know right there, that was stupid, because the order was the order. He should have filed an appeal, but he just outright refused to pay. He didn't even make any payments, and he just refused to pay and didn't even file an appeal. So he left everything in his ex-wife's hands at that point, because of course she was going to let the courts know that, look, this N-word hasn't been paying. All right. So also he stated on the stand that he feels $10,000 is excessive. He claims Samantha doesn't need that much because she makes good money on her own. Well, that's neither here nor there, because I'm quite sure the judge put that into account. And to be honest with you, that's probably why the child support was not more than $10,000 a month. I don't know what his earnings are, but they put both incomes in consideration. So it really wasn't for him to say, well, she don't need that much because she makes good money on her own. The courts do put that into consideration, but it would be up to him to file an appeal, not just refuse to outright pay anything, because he's claiming, in his opinion, she doesn't need that much. So leading up to the hearing, he ripped the judge on social media in a video, like I just stated, calling on people like civil rights attorney, I'm sorry, I'm laughing, Ben Crump and Martin Luther King III to show up in court to support him in his fight against the judge. They didn't show up. Big surprise there. So inside the court, the judge fired back at Tyrese for his failure to cough up the money he'd been ordered to pay and held him in contempt of court. Again, because he just refused to pay. He didn't file an appeal. He could have been arrested, but the judge cut him a break, aside from the staggering amounts of money he's got to pay now. So Tyrese was ordered to pay a total of $237,944 in back child support for their daughter Soraya, and $399,000 for Samantha's attorney's fees. And that's why I tell people, going to court, it really is only in the best interest of the attorneys, because ultimately they're the ones that's going to come out on top. Because look at that. He has to pay his ex-wife back child support in a lesser amount than what he has to pay for the attorney's fees for her attorney. He also has to foot the bill for $17,000 for a special master. And what that is, it's like a mediator, a go-between, almost like a referee that the judge appoints to handle any disputes that may be considered as minor in the case where it wouldn't require a hearing or some sort of trial or something like that. So the thing about it is, and why I started off this conversation the way that I started it off, is the selfishness of this dude. It's like, dude, first of all, nobody really cares about your personal issues because you chose to be with that woman. We don't know what you went through in your marriage, and it's really none of our business. But the things that he chose to share with the public is the things that he chose to share with the public, okay? And he wants to be seen as the victim in the situation when he has the money. He has the money. They would not order him to pay that much money for child support. For child support. It's not like she sued him for something that didn't have anything to do with alimony or child support, and there was a trial held and he was found guilty, and the judge and the jury awarded the plaintiff just, a huge amount of damages and punitive damages, compensatory and punitive damages, and it's way more than what he's worth. That's not what happened. Child support is based off of a percentage of what you make. So he's just been really selfish in not wanting to pay the money because he's saying he doesn't feel she needs that much money. Yeah, you know what? You might be right. You might be right. But after all is said and done, you chose to be with that woman. That's not our problem. And the fact that he had the audacity to call on people like Ben Crump, which we know Ben Crump ain't showing up in anything but a check. Okay? And that's usually off of the backs of people who have tragically lost their lives due to police situations and things like that. So I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. But anyway, that was ridiculous for him to think that Ben Crump was even going to respond to that, let alone show up. Martin Luther King III to show up holding a prayer protest. Like, you really thought that God, Jesus, and the angels were going to move for you on your behalf to make sure that the judge was going to dismiss this case and you wouldn't have to pay this woman that back child support, and they would, grant you an award to pay her, I don't know, $1,000 a month. It's just really ridiculous. The selfishness and the self-absorbedness, if that's a word, of individuals like Tyrese that come to social media to try to make their problems the world's problems. It's really crazy right now. I just wanted to talk about that because I just felt like it was extremely ridiculous for him to think that, one, any of these people were going to show up for him. Two, that he was going to get the grace and favor of the Lord Jesus Christ and the angels and God above to move on your behalf because you're holding a prayer protest. How about hold a prayer protest for people who are in need? Not even that. How about you just donating your time and your money to communities of need, to people who need, versus looking out for your own selfish needs when you're living a lot better than a lot of people in this country are? We really don't care about your personal situations. You chose to be with that woman. You had that child. You have to take care of your responsibilities. And again, child support is based off of a percentage. It's not based off of, well, look, we just want to take everything from you and give it to the child, because you're still going to be able to live extremely well. And if you feel like that money is too much, then work more. And yeah, she could go back and ask for more money if you make more money. But even with that being said, it's still going to be based off of a percentage, period. So I just wanted to talk about that because I just really get annoyed, frustrated with entitled people like this who feel that they deserve our sympathies because of their celebrity problems. We don't care. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about that quickly, guys. You let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being here. For this podversation, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.